Students, here I am discussing the second problem under transportation problem. The problem reads like this. A company has factories at F1, F2 and F3 which supply to warehouses at W1, W2 and W3. The weekly factory capacities are 200, 160 and 90 units respectively. Weekly warehouse requirement are 180, 120 and 150 respectively. The unit shipping costs in rupees are as follows. So here you are given the costs also here. So the ones which are given here uh, for factory 1, the towards if they have to supply to warehouse 1, the cost involved is 16, like this it is given to you. The supply and the demand is given, so we have to always equate the supply, total of the supply with the total of the demand. Now we are to determine the optimal solution distribution for this company to minimize the total shipping cost. So as I told you, there are three methods. One is a northwest corner method, the other one is the uh, uh, least cost method, and the Vogel's approximation method. Now let us see how we can work out the problem under northwest corner method. So the solution would be that here the I will write down the factory and the warehouse and I will draw up a column like this, and the costs are written here. So first, going by the northwest corner method, what we do is we take up the demand and the supply, right? So I will always start with the northmost cell of the table. So 180, if you compare with 200, 180 is least, so I make a allocation here and cancel out this particular column here. Then I am left with 20 here, so I'll shift to the next cell. So I make a allocation of 20, so I'll be able to cover up this particular row. Now I am left with 100 here, so going with the allocation to the next cell, so it will be that 100 and 160. If I compare, only 100 is allocation I can make, so I'll be able to cancel out this and I'm left with 60. So here 60 and 150, if I compare, 60 is what I can make the allocation here. I'll be able to cover up this, and 90 is what I'm left with. And so now we can work out the number of allocations here. So the number of allocations will be m plus n minus 1. So here m represents the, here if you observe here, the number of allocations should always be equal to m plus n minus 1. So here m is the rows, so we have 1 2 3, so 3 rows plus 1 2 3, 3 columns minus 1, so 6 allocations should be there. 5 allocations should be there. 3 plus 3 minus 1, so 1 2 3 4 5. Now let us work out the total cost here. So total cost is equal to 16 into 180 plus 20 into 20 plus 8 into 100 plus then 18 into 60 plus 16 into 90. So this will be equal to 6,800 rupees. This is how I calculate the problem under northwest corner method. So likewise we can calculate it under the least cost method and the Vogel's approximation method also. Now I am working out the second method, that is least cost method. So under the least cost method, what we do is we actually go by the allocations with the least cost. Now let us see how we can work out this. So we will have to drop a column F1, F2 and F3, and here it is a demand. So IBFS under Vogel least cost method. So here it is the supply W1, W2 and W3. So costs are written here 16, 20 and 12. So 14, 8 and 18, 26, 24 and 16, 200, 160 and 90. So 180, 120 and 150. So the total should be equal to 450. Now if you observe here, the least cost is 8 rupees. So 120 I compare with 160 and 120 is allocation I can make here. So with this I'll be able to cancel out this and I'm left with 40. So if I compare the next least cost, it will be 12. So here if I compare these two, 150 is what is allocation I can make. So here I'm left with 50. If you compare the other this thing, so 14 is the least value, so 40 is what I can make the allocation here. So 140 is what I'm left with. So 50 is what is allocation that I can make here, so I'm left with 0. Finally here I can make the demand is only for 90, so finally it is 90 here. So this is how. So if I work out the number of allocations here, it will be 16 into 50 plus 12 into 150 plus 14 into 40 plus 8 into 120 plus 26 into 90. So if you observe here, the number of allocations that we have will be m plus n minus 1, which is equal to m is the rows, that is 1, 2, 3. So 3 plus 3 minus 1, so which is equal to 5 allocations. So 5 allocations, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 allocations are made. Now the total cost will be this one, 16 into 50, then plus 12 into 150, and the total is rupees 460. So if you observe here, in comparison with the northwest corner method, the cost is comparatively less here. So the northwest corner method, least cost method is an improvisation of a northwest corner method, and Vogel approximation will again lead to least cost.